All right, good morning, guys. Quick sound check. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Sound check a 1, 2. Good morning, prayer. Good morning, kid. What's up, George? How you guys doing this morning? What's up, Jerome? Hopefully, you guys had a rest of your day yesterday and a good morning so far. We got the markets moving a little bit this morning. It is Thursday, August 22nd. I believe it's Thursday, right? Today's Thursday? Yeah. What's up, Jose? Actually, do you say your name like Jose? How do you say your name? I don't wanna. I mean, that's one that I could easily butcher, but yeah, the divergence is a really nice trade. That has been, I want to say like, I gotta go back and find that. Like, I think 2012 is when I had that built. I should go back and find the emails between the guy when I built it, but yeah, it's been a good indicator for a long time now. Um, let's jump into today's action. I think we've got what I think will be a decent day. I think it'll be rather slow with some pops to the upside. I unfortunately did not get to listen to Perry this morning, so I don't know specifically what's going to happen because Perry talks about that pretty much to the tick each morning. But I did miss that. I was on the road for a little bit there. So we're going to run through my charts and analysis and what it is I'm looking for here today. Did the morning write-up, and I waited until, or was waiting until after 9 a.m. here for Nadex to give us some more strikes there for the 11 a.m. expirations here. And, oh, just regular Jose. Oh, perfect. A genius and didn't even know it. And what we've got right now for 11 a.m. expirations here that line up with the 29.75s here are going to come in at basically 29.30s. So we're one tick off there. Those got about an hour and 45 minutes to go here this morning. They're currently printing 75 bucks. So if we can get a pullback here at the open down into 29.75s, then I'm going to be looking at those 29.30s for the 11 a.m. expiration. I just want to get you guys an update on that. Now, as far as news announcements here for the day, we have a whole lot of nothing coming out. Some flash manufacturing, some flash services, some consumer confidence out of the euro, some CB leading. Nat gas, if you're paying attention to that, at 10:30 will be probably a mover there. And then all day we've got this Jackson Hole thing going on, and then that actually carries over into tomorrow as well. I'm not quite sure why, but like today it's in it's orange here, so it's not like a major thing. And then tomorrow it actually ends up being red. So I don't know what the schedule is for that whole ordeal. Maybe they get into a little bit more, I don't know, higher tech stuff or whatever tomorrow. I'm not quite sure why that changes. Hopefully that gives us a little bit more volatility going into the weekend, though, that can carry over into Monday for us. We also do have Fed Chair Powell speaking tomorrow at 10 a.m. as well. So what I'm looking at here when it comes to the news today, obviously if you're trading nat gas, that's going to be kind of standalone there. If you're trading the futures markets here, what I think could be a realistic scenario on the day, I have my bias from the charts and all that stuff, but we could end up seeing, some of these kind of quick reactions that come, basically out of nowhere, and that's, somebody says something or somebody tweets something or something like that from whatever Jackson Hole is doing, and whoever's there, all the things that are said, whatever. So the biggest thing I want to stress with that today is to use actual hard stops. Obviously, if you're trading Nadex, that's a little bit different story. But if you're trading the futures markets, whether that's the micros or the E-minis, make sure you have hard stops in place for today. As far as the currency pairs go here, you guys can see the only thing that's really moving up here is the Great Britain pound JPY and the Great Britain pound USD. All the other markets are relatively flat here. NZD, USD, probably the next in line there as a mover. So Great Britain Pound JPY came up and traded that level that we gave out the other night. I just dropped that in the chat with a chart the other night there. And that finally came up and traded the target level that we were looking for on that move. Otherwise, it's been, again, I feel like I'm being a dead horse, but we've just been relatively flat for like a while now. This was the action from yesterday here. You can just see we pretty much went sideways in and around the opening print all day. One little flurry down here to 29.18s allowed people to pick up longs off the 19 quarter levels and then rallied up into the 29.75s here as a target there for the end of the day. So there was a potential to pull about 10 points out of the market yesterday. And with a 12-point range on the day, I don't think you can get much better than that. So what I'm going to be looking for, again, today is probably a lot of the same type of action, again, with a little bit of upside slant to it here. And we did trade a high of 29.39 in the overnight session, a low of 29.1850. So we do have a 20-point range in the overnight session so far. What I'm going to be looking at here, we're currently showing opening prints coming in like right now, about 34s here. We've got this prior high here, 32 quarters. What I'm going to be looking for here this morning are pullbacks to 29.75s for long opportunities here in the S&Ps. If we can hold off that, then I think we've got a shot at getting 29.40 quarters as the target on the day. If those 29.39s end up being the high of the day for both the extended session and the cash session for today, if we're not able to get through those numbers, I would be extremely surprised that we're not able to go up and test those levels at some point today. Whether that ends up happening for 2 seconds or for 2 minutes, or we come up there and we spend 2 hours, that part I do not know yet, but I am expecting 29.40 quarters here to trade today. If that is not going to be the case here and I'm wrong under 29.75. So if we aren't able to hold 29.75s here in the morning on any kind of pullback, if we get that pullback, then I'm going to step aside, let this market kind of trade down in and around here. Maybe it trades 23s, maybe it trades 25s. Who knows where it trades to? And if it does that, I'll let it do its thing, and then I'll take interest in it again if we can get back above 29.75s. If once we're through 29.75s and we don't come back above it, and we're able to crack under 19 quarters, then I think from there we can start looking at some short setups, and that'll take us down into 29.10 quarters and then 28.92s. This is the least likely scenario I see for today. I do not see a 40-point reversal coming out from where we're currently at and 28.92s being traded down here. I just don't see that as a realistic possibility today. But again, if something does come out from Jackson Hole or a tweet or any of the other potential news and announcements that are unscheduled here, that could be a possibility. And I will look at shorts if and when we get under 29.19 quarters for the day. Otherwise, I like longs to 29.40 quarters here, and if we are able to break through that, then I like us up to 29.59.50s here as the next level above. Most likely this is going to end up trading either tomorrow or Monday here, but I do like that as kind of that move. And I did pick up a swing position here for the S&Ps with the SPY calls. And if you guys watched the video from last night, you already saw this position, but I'll pull it over and just show you guys what it is I'm looking for here with the SPY and the position I put on around that. So I went ahead and picked up the 295 calls, the 296s, the 297s, and the 298s here, and they have 12 days to go until expiration for those. So I am looking for a bullish move here on a swing trade there for the markets to the upside, playing that with some SPY calls. All right, taking a look here. Taking a look here at the NASDAQ. So NASDAQ was able to trade NASDAQ was able to trade 77.82 quarters last night, and lows of 77.07s. So we've got like a 75-point range going into the day here for the Nasdaq. And realistically here, one thing about the Nasdaq, this support level 77.27 was able to hold yesterday. We've pushed higher from there, and we're currently at 77.56. We're gapping up just a little bit here. The S&Ps are gapping up a little bit more in terms of percentage change here. They're actually double. And what I'm going to watch for on the Nasdaq today is going to be 77.52 quarters here. So if we're able to kind of get above this level and hold, this was, kind of that area we were watching in yesterday, and we had traded up to 65s and 63s and 62s and just couldn't quite get the move going early on in yesterday's session there. If we're able to hold this 52 quarter here off the open and start pushing higher, then I think we've got a shot at getting those 77 quarters again. And then from there, we've got room up to 78.27s. Again, this is one of those levels I think that either trades potentially tomorrow or maybe even into next week. So in terms of today, I think we're going to have a decent little range to the upside, but I don't think it's going to be one of those stellar kind of breakout days just yet. It's showing some signs that it wants to do that, but it's also, selling back off from those 39 highs, trading back down to 1850s last night was not necessarily a good thing. Nasdaq trading those 77 quarters and then all the way back down to 07s yesterday. Again, would have liked, if we're going to get that big breakout today, would have liked to have seen us just kind of hold up there around those levels somewhere and then get the push higher. But again, that wasn't necessarily what happened, and the market's not going to do what we wanted to do. So we have to play what it is that we can see on the charts here and what the market's actually doing for us. And that's what I'm looking at here so far this morning. So I'm going to be patient off the open here, specifically in the Nasdaq. I think Nasdaq can actually push through 52 quarters a little bit more than the S&Ps can push through 29.75s. Russell here is going to be right into its resistance level. There's a 15.16 this morning. That was a target we were looking for yesterday on that trade. And it has room kind of up here towards 15.23.30s here. Traded 15.18.60s in the overnight session. Russell was treating us pretty well yesterday, so I'm going to pay attention to this again today. Maybe we'll see if 15.16 wants to hold. That gives us about 7 points worth of room to target up at 15.23.30s here. And Russell was able to actually poke out new highs yesterday towards the end of the day, as was the S&Ps, to where the Nasdaq and the Dow were unable to do so. And if you're curious as to what I'm talking about right there, this is kind of what I'm looking at here from the 4 grid. I'll pull this up. This was kind of the relative strength I saw yesterday towards the end of the day here, was the Russell coming up tagging new highs, S&Ps coming up tagging new highs, the Nasdaq not quite able to, and the Dow for sure not quite able to. So I'm going to be a little bit more focused on the S&Ps and the Russell today, just out of these reasons right here from that relative strength side. So anyways, that's what I've got for you guys so far this morning here. Again, no major news announcements for the day, except for, again, some of those potentially unscheduled ones or things that can come out of Jackson Hole. So keep that in mind. Keep stops on the servers today. No mental stops, all that fun stuff. And hope you guys have a great trading day. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Click that subscribe button if you are new around here. And if you want to join myself and Perry and Jay and Rob and all the rest of the MLT team in the Discord, there is going to be a link in the description below that you guys can go ahead and click that, and it'll get you all the details from there. So thank you guys so much for coming on this morning and hanging out with me. And I'll see you guys back in just a few minutes for the first hour of the day live trading session. Take care.